You're listening to the Smarter Moms Online Podcast, episode number 7. Welcome to the Smarter Moms Online Podcast, where you learn how to increase your revenue and your reputation in your online business. I'm your host, Ashlyn Tengon, and if you're ready to work smarter and not harder, then let's get started. You are in for a treat. Today, we're talking with Emily, whose Poshmark closet name is msully1, and that's linked in today's show notes. And she's going to tell us how she makes daily sales with mystery boxes. You're also going to hear how she sold over 500 mystery boxes in less than a year. I know today's episode is so good, guys. Before we dive into today's show, I want to read a review from Angela, whose closet name is Pure Charm 25, titled Clear and Concise. And she says, the podcasts are clear and concise. They're also easy to understand. And you know, Angela, that's exactly what I'm going for. So thank you so much for leaving that review. You know, Angela didn't leave her closet name in her iTunes review, but she's been a member of the Poshmark Sellers Facebook group since pretty much the beginning, so I kind of had her closet name memorized by now. But listen, if you want a chance to have your closet given a shout out on the podcast, just leave a review on iTunes and be sure to include your closet name because I promise I don't have everyone's closet names memorized. I'm sorry. I tried, but with over 500 people in that group, I can't possibly do that. But anyhow, it seriously only takes 1.8 seconds to rate the podcast and less than 30 seconds to write a quick review. And if you want to catch today's show notes, you can just head on over to smartermomsonline.com/7, just the number 7, and you can get access to everything we talk about today so that you don't need to take notes. Okay, let's dive right into today's show with Emily. Okay, so we have Emily on the show today. Welcome, Emily.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Why don't we start off by sharing a little bit about you, your family, and why you started selling on Poshmark?
So I'm a corporate and real estate attorney from Detroit, a fairly new attorney. I've been in practice for about 2 years. And a year ago, I think I was just up late one night and I stumbled across Poshmark and downloaded the app, and since then, it's become basically a second job for me, though that was not my intent when I first downloaded it. I think that's true for a lot of people, too.
Yeah, definitely. So why did you start selling on Poshmark?
I think I had all these clothes laying around my house that I really just didn't want and hadn't worn, especially since I had graduated and was now working as a lawyer. I had a lot of more younger style clothing that I just needed to get rid of, and I just started snapping photos, and I was really surprised actually when the first one sold. I couldn't believe that it had sold that quickly.
Do you remember how quickly it sold?
I think it sold maybe in 3 days, and it wasn't anything expensive. It was a H&M dress that I had for maybe 3 years and just hadn't really worn.
Wow, 3 days, that's so quick.
Yeah, so that definitely sparked my addiction, and before I knew it, I was, out at the thrift stores sourcing and had an entire room devoted to Poshmark.
Wow, that is awesome. I think that's how a lot of people start out too. They're just wanting to sell off some of the clothes that they don't need or no longer wear anymore.
Right. I think the structure of Poshmark feeds into that too as well, since there's incentives to buy from new users because you get free shipping, or at least you used to. I haven't saw it in a little while, but I know I used to always be on the hunt for brand new people to be their first purchase and get that free shipping.
Yes, I do the same thing too, because I haven't seen free shipping, but I have seen $3.99 shipping.
Oh, so at least it's still a thing. There's still a bit of an incentive to help people get their closets going.
Oh yeah, definitely. So tell us about your Posh Closet today. Are you still selling items out of your own personal wardrobe?
No. So I've basically exhausted everything that was in my own personal wardrobe. I don't really sell a lot of used clothing per se in individual listings. I have a mystery box that I sell used and gently used or new with tags items in, but the majority of my closet is now boutique. I've transitioned from selling used items to actually buying wholesale and then selling those in my closet. So that's my main focus, aside from the mystery boxes.
That is awesome. I love seeing people's boutique items because everyone has something a little different, and they're not things that I see in the mall stores. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's important if you're going to sell boutique and you're going to be successful at it that you do have somewhat of a curated image, or at least my closet has several curated images, but I try to arrange them when I share my closet into similar styles of things go together. I know some people like to arrange by item, some people by color. I try when my closet is actually organized, because I know things get unorganized throughout the day, but I try to arrange my items by sort of a certain aesthetic or style. So maybe a boho chic type style for one block of listings, and then maybe a more alternative, edgier section of listings. I think that that's helpful when you're selling boutique if you have something that sets you apart, some sort of coherent aesthetic or even lines of aesthetics within your individual boutique.
I have to agree with you on that. Yeah, totally. And what I was just going to say earlier was that I was taking a look at your closet and I love how you organize it. It looks really, I want to say professional, like you do this for a living. You did mention that
All
this
right.
is
Well,
like a second part-time job or a second job for you, but is it full-time or part-time?
I would say that I mean, I have a full-time job, but it does kind of seem like a second full-time job. I do put in a lot of hours throughout the week with different things, whether it's talking to different wholesale distributors, trying to find new items, or sharing my closet, answering questions. It can become like a second full-time job. For some people, I think if you are working full-time, you need to try to distance yourself and resist the urge, because otherwise I can see people just spending 80 hours a week on Poshmark in addition to what they have going on in their life. Sometimes I wonder I don't know that it's necessary to spend that much
I know.
time and still have consistency.
Yes, I feel you on that. Totally, 100%. So, hey, I'm excited to hear about what you have to share because the discussion topics that you put in your intake forms made my eyes light up, and I can't wait for everyone else to hear about what you have to say. So, let's dive right in if you're ready. Are you
Oh, of
ready?
course,
Okay.
I am ready.
So, your number one discussion topic says how I sold 500 mystery boxes in less than 1 year, which is amazing. And as a bonus, how selling mystery boxes has generated daily sales and strong repeat customers who also buy boutique items. Tell us about that.
So I'll start off first with just describing what type of mystery box I decided to sell, because I know there's a lot of different ones out there. So I got this idea. I sold my last mystery box last November, November 1st, and it is a $20 mystery outfit. So how it works is I had this listing I created with just a general cover photo that said $20 mystery outfit, and then the next pictures would be just flat lays of example outfits, and then the buyer can choose one size when they purchase, and then I ask them in the comments below to give me their style preferences, their shoe size, if they would like shoes or if they would like a bag, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And it was slow at first. I sold one, and then the woman ended up liking it and had her friend purchase one, and from there it really just took off to the point where I was selling several a day, and ended up selling, I think now the last time I checked, the numbers were nearing 600. So
Wow.
I know I just had a sale the other day with the offer to Likers speakers, and I sold 34 in a day
Holy
with the
smoke.
10% off and discount shipping. But what I like most about the mystery box is I've noticed that certain listings on Poshmark can have value. They can have value by having a lot of likes and also a lot of comments. And so by having a mystery box listing that requires people to leave a comment, after they purchase, it is very quick to fill up those 600 comments. Right now I have the main listing and the comment section has been full on that for quite some time. And then I've actually filled other questions and comments listings that I've created just for the sole purpose of people commenting their sizes and preferences there. And also these comments help you, they show other buyers who might be browsing through your personable side, how you interact with your customers. Customers will come back and they'll see, oh, this person's back for their 4th mystery box. These must be great. So I think too, especially with mystery boxes, the amount of likes and the amount of comments helps potential buyers. It builds trust in them so that they see a mystery box listing that has 600 likes and 600 comments. I think they take notice of that and are more likely to take a gamble on it.
Definitely builds that trust factor. Wow.
And good reviews help too.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Good reviews, getting love notes from mystery boxes. I've noticed a lot of buyers have said that they've purchased because they've went through and checked the love notes. So I think that is something that buyers, especially of mystery boxes, actually are checking into.
I have to agree. Mystery boxes are risky to purchase because a lot of people have been burned with them. So to have that social proof that your mystery boxes are actually amazing is definitely helpful.
And on the seller side, it's to your advantage I know I see some people in their closet, they're trying to sell mystery boxes and they have 10 or 12 of them for each different size or each different style. And I think that's really a disadvantage to them because that's not concentrating all of the comments in one listing, all of the likes in one listing. They're spread out across all these different mystery boxes. And as sellers, we know it can be difficult to remove a comment from Poshmark that you don't want, right?
Right.
But the beauty is if you have a mystery box that has 600 likes, no one else can comment on it anymore. So you never have to worry about one person maybe was just a difficult buyer, they just weren't pleased, and they just come on your mystery box listing and completely trash it, and now no one else will trust it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have 600 comments, that can't happen.
There's a lot of strong, what is the word I'm trying to say? Positive reinforcement, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
So my goal, I remember when I saw that I was nearing 600 comments and knock on wood, hadn't had any ugly comments yet, was just to get to 600 comments because then it's this really good thing to have in your closet. There's 600 positive comments.
Definitely. So how did you get that first sale on a mystery box? You mentioned that it took a while and then finally one person bought.
Right. I shared it like crazy. I would just share it, and I know she had asked questions, and I was just really tried to be very personable and establish a connection with her. It turns out we're from the same state. We're both from Michigan, so that was a help. And really, I've had friends on the app who've started mystery boxes. It really only takes 1 or 2 sales. If I know someone trying to start a mystery box and they're a friend of mine, I will buy it. Mm-hmm. And it's surprising actually how much it grows once you start getting those first couple sales. So I would say, if you're having problems getting it going, have a friend buy your box.
That's a great idea.
Just to get it going.
I like that idea, just to get the ball rolling and have some proof that someone else likes your mystery box. I like that idea.
I think that's the hardest thing with a mystery box is just to get it going, because once it gets going and you get good reviews, it creates a life of its own.
So have you seen that you mentioned that how selling your mystery boxes has generated daily sales? Are you selling a mystery box every single day, or are you selling other items in addition to a mystery box?
I sell other items in addition to a mystery box every day. And now there are days that I don't sell mystery boxes. To be honest, I've gotten a tiny bit burned out from styling outfits at the moment, so I keep it down near the bottom of my closet. Mm-hmm. But I definitely still sell several a week, and when I do share it, it always makes a sale.
And how many pieces are you putting in these boxes?
So it really just depends. My listing, I think, says anywhere from 3 to 4. I
Okay.
usually end up including more pieces than that. And some of the pieces can be smaller items. So in the summer, a pair of sunglasses, or I've been including some beauty products and some, like a little set of Victoria's Secret face masks, or these cute nail clippers I found that are shaped like little sandals. So
That
usually there's
sounds
at
really fun.
least 3 to 4 items.
Got it. And are the clothing items brand new or are they thrifted or tell us about that?
So some are thrifted. The law firm I work for does a clothing swap, so I get a lot of free clothes
Oh,
that way.
awesome.
It's absolutely amazing because all of these women bring in their clothes and I bring in, stale inventory basically. But they like it because some of them are, older women who are looking for maybe not the most current of styles. And they have children and grandchildren. So it's a really good swap, and that's a really good source of inventory. So it's
Definitely.
a mix usually of new with tags and gently used items.
Hmm. Wow, that's interesting. That I just find it interesting that the thrifted items would still be included in a mystery box and people love that stuff. That's just very interesting to me.
Right. Well, I mean, you have to make sure when items are used that they are still wearable. So this one woman surprised me. I sold her a mystery box, and then she had commented that she did a surprise unboxing on her YouTube
Oh.
channel. I'll never forget. I mean, her items were nice, but I died of agony because it was one of those where the sweater was a little wrinkly, and I was in a hurry, so I didn't steam it. And when she pulled it out, I could have just died.
Oh my
So
God.
it's important to remember it was still a nice sweater,
Uh-huh.
but it was wrinkly and it didn't look the best coming out of that box. So it's important to remember the biggest thing with selling mystery boxes, you cannot send garbage
Right.
to people because you never know. I've had people who've created posts on their page, wearing the outfit that I have sent them. And if they look ridiculous, people are going to see.
Did she say anything about the sweater when she pulled it out?
Yes. She was like, oh, it's a little wrinkly. We'll fix that.
I
So,
can I can only imagine your expression when you see that
you can steam 100 sweaters, and the one you don't, that'll be the one that ends up on YouTube.
on YouTube. Oh, that's hilarious.
Wrinkly but nice sweaters.
Oh my gosh,
See,
I love it.
EM Sully one.
So best practice, steam them all.
I always take great care with your mystery boxes because it is a thing right now. I see on YouTube where people buy mystery boxes from different sites and unbox them.
Uh-huh.
So you should always expect that there will be an unboxing video, and you do not want to know what that horror feels like.
Oh my goodness. Well, as a result of that, do you think that video brought you traffic to your closet?
I think that it did. I know there were a few women that went when she posted the list and commented on her YouTube video, and then that brought in some of their friends. A lot of it is really just word of mouth, and a lot of times it's either someone's daughter or their sister. So I end up styling a lot of people within families or within other buyers' networks.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. At least a positive outcome came from that. That's hilarious.
Right. It wasn't all bad. It was just a little quickly better.
So let's move on to another discussion topic. Let's talk about how to sell boutique without the portal.
Right. So I know a lot of people purchase from the portal, but to me, it's not something that I would do. It seems like there's a lot of people that have access to the same items, and when you sell boutique, really one of the important things is to have something no one else has.
Hmm.
When there's a lot of people that have the same exact item that you have, then you can engage in some sort of price war. If you are the only one with that particular item, you can set your own prices, which is important if you're trying to make money.
Hmm.
So, and a lot of the brands that are selling on the portal have their own website. Some of them you can go on their own website and order wholesale from them directly from there without any type of negotiation. Some
Right.
of them don't, but they still have a website, and I found that if you just contact them,
Mm-hmm.
they will be willing to work with you, and because Poshmark's not taking its cut, they'll give you better prices.
Right.
That or just nothing stops you. The definition of boutique on Poshmark is something that's purchased directly from the manufacturer and is being offered for sale to the public for the first time. So if you have a business license, you can access multiple wholesale sites across the internet. If you Google women's clothing wholesale, tons of sites will come up. And it's so easy to get a business license. It can be done, at least in Michigan, it can be done in maybe 10 minutes. And it's entirely online, and it costs $50 to incorporate in Michigan.
Well worth it.
Well worth it. It gets you access to all these wholesale portals, liquidation sales, those types of things that are just not offered on the Poshmark portal. The Poshmark portal is a very limited selection of wholesale items that aren't really offered in wholesale quantities or honestly at wholesale prices. They're way more than what you would expect to pay for something wholesale.
And not a lot of people know that either. So I'm glad that you shared that.
Right. Every time I hear of people that are tempted to purchase from the portal, I always caution them to really, really think about it.
Yeah, definitely. Because I was just having a conversation with one of the girls in the group the other day that we were talking about how the prices in the portal seem a bit high for wholesale prices.
I think they are quite high. Generally, I've noticed a trend among the wholesale pricing where they will sell you a pack of 3, and they'll say, this is a 3-pack of sweaters. The MSRP of these sweaters is $60, and then the bundle for the 3 sweaters will be $120. So basically, or it will be $69. So it'll be the same for 3 as the MSRP, but it's so unlikely that you will ever sell that for their suggested retail price.
Yes, that's exactly what we were talking about.
Right. I purchased one thing from the portal. I purchased a pack of purses at an extreme sale that the seller was having, and I ended up putting all 3 purses in mystery boxes because I just could not sell them.
Wow. Wow. Well, I mean, at least you moved them.
Yeah, at a loss.
Right, at a loss. Wow, that's frustrating. But good point about looking outside of the portal and just using the internet to your advantage to find those wholesale boutiques. I like it.
Right. You can build a lot of good contacts. And if you see something you really love on the portal, I would definitely recommend Googling that seller and finding them off Poshmark. I know Poshmark probably doesn't approve of that strategy, but I think women need to remember that Poshmark does not own you off of their site. You cannot use their site to communicate with these brands and these businesses, but they have no control over what you do in your private life.
Very true. Yes, very true. So let's talk about the one thing that you've done every day that always generated at least one sale.
All right. So every day I decide something in my closet or my boutique that I would like to sell one of these items. And then I search and find either something very similar or the exact same thing, see all the people who have liked that item. I follow them, and then I share bomb them with shares. I like a few of their items, add some of their items to a bundle, and then comment on some of their listings. Not really asking a question about an item because I don't want to harass them, not advertising my closet, just saying, oh, that's a beautiful sweater, or on their Meet the Posh, or, oh, I see that you were in Spain. I was there 2 summers ago. Where did you go? And just try to chat with them and get them into my closet. And of course, when they come into my closet, that item is the very first item they see.
Whoa. That's some ninja tactics.
Right? And it honestly does work. And of course, if you're doing the comparable pricing, the item that they like yours should be maybe $1 or 2 cheaper.
Right. What?
And it's more powerful now with the new bundle feature too, because you can see what other people are bundling.
Do you know that emoji where the mind is blown?
Right.
That
It really does work. It's time consuming, but if you were really hurting for a sale, I have never had that fail.
And that's why my mind is blown because I used to do that at the beginning of my Posh journey, but the only thing I didn't do was try to make a conversation. I wouldn't say anything. I would just follow them and add a few of their
Right.
pieces to the bundle, and that's it. Oh,
I think some people, especially with, people, I have people that will add 15 items to a bundle and I'll get so excited. But they're never purchasing all. No, they're
right.
just, I don't know what they're I don't know what they're doing. So I think a lot of people have that experience. So I think they're kind of desensitized to people adding things to bundles or liking things or following them. But if you comment, for one, if they're a seller themselves, they don't want to seem like they're rude and they're ignoring you.
Right.
That's just human nature. If someone reaches out and asks you a question, you'd like to answer it, especially if it's, a personal question. People love to talk about themselves.
Wow, I really like that. So you still do that technique today?
I still do.
Nice.
It is tried and true.
I meant to ask you earlier, how long have you been selling on Poshmark?
I started in April of last year, I believe.
Oh,
And then
wow.
I took a break. So I was one of those people who downloaded the app, sold for a while, and then kind of abandoned it. And then I came back in October of last year.
That's exactly what I did. I was one of those
Yeah.
people. Yeah,
I had
exactly.
to email Poshmark to get my closet back because I was one of those horrible sellers that had so many unshipped sales because I had deleted the app. I
Oh
just
my
was,
gosh.
yeah, I was one of those horrible, horrible people.
Holy smokes. You were selling things without even realizing it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because I had just deleted it at that point.
Oh my gosh. That is the first I've ever heard that happening.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad process. I reinstalled the app and went to log in and noticed I had no listings and like that you could view in my closet. Though it said I had available listings, there was nothing there.
Oh my gosh, that is classic.
And it was because I had quite a few sales canceled for non-shipment, but it was just I promised to be better. I'm sorry, and they let me have my closet back.
Too funny. At least they gave you your closet back. You didn't have to start a whole new one.
No,
Oh, good.
I mean it wouldn't have been bad at that point if I had to start a new closet. I had maybe 30 things,
Oh, that's not
and
bad, but still.
they were all horrible photos of on my bedroom door, or
Yeah,
thrown on my living room carpet.
right?
My cover
Wow.
photos have come a very long way.
And it's an experience. It's a learning experience that you just have to learn. I have this thing where I'm always repeating the same words in the same sentence. It's awful.
I do that too.
Oh, thank you
It's
for making me
fine.
feel normal.
I think if a word sounds good, you just stick with it.
I know. I'm just like, I wonder if people think that I'm just weird because I tend to do that a lot. And I don't know. Moving on. We have time for just about one more question. So I want to talk about how do you build relationships with customers through thank you notes and customized orders?
So especially through selling mystery boxes, since you're styling them, sometimes we'll say a specific event, like I'm going on vacation, or this is to be worn for a wedding. I've styled people for their engagement photo shoot. So then you use the thank you note as an opportunity to say thank you for your purchase, but also to look back through the comments before you write it and mention it. Say, I hope you have a fun trip, or I hope your engagement photos look stunning. And then keep records and mental notes so that when these same people come back, you remember them. So for mystery boxes, you could say, oh yes, I know your shoe size is this, and how did your engagement photo shoot go? And by that, you build relationships such that now I have women who buy a mystery box from me every month, and every month we talk. So my thank you notes just become like a letter to a friend. And I think that really is good for driving traffic to your closet, having those strong relationships.
That is really cool. I mean, genuinely, that is really cool that you can build a relationship that way and you get repeated customers.
And I think through selling a curated mystery box is a good avenue to do that, because they're going to tell you at least some personal information about themselves, their sizes. They'll tell you what kind of outfit they want for what kind of occasion, or where they work a lot of times. So they give you a little piece of information that you can include in the thank you note to start building that relationship.
Yes, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I was going to ask, do people just voluntarily share these things on your regular listings? Because it sounds like they would give up this type of information for a mystery box listing.
No, with my regular listings, I haven't had so much of, besides, when can you ship? I need this weekend. So, I mean, really not so much with regular listings. But with the mystery box, I think that's a good way. And a lot of times people, if they will purchase mystery boxes and then come back and purchase other more expensive boutique items.
Right.
And you can just continue that relationship and say, oh, this dress will look lovely with those shoes I sent you last month. And I think just the fact that you can remember, or at least seem to remember because you've taken notes, is impressive to buyers.
I agree. That is very memorable on both parts. I would feel special if a seller remembered me from something that I bought. Like, who knows how many sales a seller makes a day, a week, a month, and then I come back to purchase from you again and you remember what I bought. That would make me feel so special.
And Poshmark's new feature with the sales report, the Excel spreadsheet that you can download now, has a new comment that next to each of your sale lists the buyer's username. So that makes it a lot easier to organize files on your computer by username, and this is what they've purchased from you.
So cool. I love the improvements they're making. Makes it easier on us.
It does. It's a godsend, the sales report. It makes accounting so much easier.
Yeah, definitely. So we are just about out of time for today, but I really enjoyed our conversation. Thank you so much for being transparent with us. This was, like I said, this was a really good conversation. I appreciate you sharing as much as you did. Where can we find you on Poshmark?
My closet on Poshmark is EMSULLI1, the number 1.
Got it. And I will link to your Poshmark closet in today's show notes so that no one has to write anything down. They can just simply go there and click directly to your closet.
And I will go organize my closet so it's not a hot mess.
Oh! Your closet is beautiful. I love it.
Thank you very much.
I had to stop scrolling so that I wouldn't be tempted to buy something. It's beautiful. Keep going.
Well, that is the goal, right?
Yes. All right, Emily. It's been a pleasure talking with you today.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Didn't that make you want to go out and start your own mystery box listing? I'll tell you right now, after I spoke with her, I went and created my own and I sold one. But let's not get too excited. I just sold one. Like, not 500, just one. Anyhow, thank you so much for listening. You could have been listening to anything you wanted to today, but you chose to listen to the show. And for that, I'm very appreciative. So if you enjoyed today's show, I'd love if you would consider just taking a few seconds to leave a review on iTunes. And these are super helpful in letting others discover and learn about the podcast as well. And I read each and every one of them. And remember, you may even have your review read on a future episode. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. So have a good one, and I'll see you here next week.